Hi there, everybody. Welcome to your 4 to 5. Eric Chilton here with Chad Silver and Lauren Coleman. Lots coming up for you in the next hour.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching us on WFMY News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and we're also on the News 2 app.
I'm sure you guys would agree with me. It feels like winter outside today.
And the temperature just keeps dropping and dropping. It is cold.
And we have a few more drops for you coming up in the next few days, too. We'll have our forecast for you coming up in a bit.
All right. First, one of the big stories we are following today, a sad one. We are learning more about the deadly bull riding accident in Stokes County over the weekend. 14-year-old Denham Bradshaw died after the bull he was riding stomped on his chest at Rodeo in King. Witnesses say when the doors opened, the bull bucked twice, Bradshaw fell off, and the bull stomped on his chest. Obviously, this is video from a different bull riding incident. Family friend Jessica Pitt told us she couldn't believe it when she heard the news.
I was at the Greensboro Coliseum doing the big hair ball. And yeah, I got the call and pretty much just everything just stops. And I'm really glad that my husband was there because I just kind of fell apart.
Our friends told us Bradshaw was fearless and loved the sport. We will have more coming up at 5.
Sad story there. Let's get to some of your headlines with your 4 to 5 roundup. We're staying on top of a developing story in Thomasville. Ledford Middle School was closed today while deputies investigate a body found on campus this morning. According to the Davidson County Sheriff's Office, the body was found around 6 this morning. They say it was discovered outside near one of the back doors. Investigators do not believe this person was attempting to break into the school. The Sheriff's Office said there was no threat to the campus. WFMY News 2 will dive deeper into this developing story tonight at 5.
Greensboro Guilford Crime Stoppers is highlighting an unsolved murder that occurred a year ago today. You might remember when someone shot and killed 14-year-old Jacqueline Chambers while he was playing video games at his home on McPherson Street. Crime Stoppers is still offering a $5,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest. Family, friends, and neighbors gathered today for the funeral of Tyree Nichols. Weather conditions forced organizers to push up the celebration of life this afternoon. Vice President Kamala Harris was there, along with Reverend Al Sharpton, who delivered the eulogy. Nichols died following an encounter with Memphis police officers nearly a month ago. Some state lawmakers have revived a controversial bill that got a lot of attention last year. It involves what's called the Parents' Bill of Rights. It would require schools to inform parents before children can change their names or preferred pronouns. Critics argue the bill discriminates against LGBTQ students. The bill also proposes allowing parents to review their students' reading material and be alerted to changes in their child's mental health. We will keep you posted. Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley is set to announce her candidacy for president. We've heard she's planning to make the announcement on February 15th. Haley, a Republican governor, was there for 6 years before she served as former President Trump's ambassador to the United Nations. When she enters the race, Haley will be the first to join the contest against her former boss.
Yeah, temperatures, we're starting to feel that chill in the air. Yesterday we were talking about 50s. Today you could see where we are presently at 40 even in Greensboro, 41 in Burlington. High Point, you're at 42, a string of 42s there. Lexington, Asheboro, Winston-Salem, Walnut Cove, and Reedsville all at 42. Mount Airy 46, and Galax cools it down to 36 degrees. For tonight, we'll see that overnight low going down to the mid-30s for the Triad proper. Of course, it's cooler in the higher elevations, but mostly cloudy, isolated shower possible. Still again tomorrow. This is kind of a cold rain or a chilly rain, 42 degrees, as warm as it gets tomorrow. And of course, those showers starting to move in. We're looking at the radar now, and we do see a little bit of shower activity in the western Piedmont. We'll go out to a broader picture, and you see, and again, it's the same situation we've been talking about, where it's just one low pressure after another kind of rides along our area, bringing us these rain chances. Now, a lot of that frozen precipitation you saw back out west, we should not be seeing any of that. This is shower. If you look at our future cast here, this is at 2:30 in the morning, so overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Moderate rain. Now let's skip ahead a little bit. Here it is again at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So when a lot of people are out and about, Heavier rains to the south than to the north. If you were to divide our viewing area right in half, kind of by I-40, south of I-40, a better chance of rain. This is Thursday afternoon at 3:50. So if you're in Davidson, Randolph, Montgomery County, you would have more rain total and probably more periods of rain than folks there along our Virginia line. And then we skipped ahead to Friday here, all clear. We clear out nicely by Friday. So tonight, that low of 36, we'll see that isolated shower or two with a chilly rain tomorrow and a high of 42 degrees. 7-day forecast looks like this. Yeah, some changes coming up, right? We have Groundhog's Day tomorrow. So more rain to the south and to the north, but it's a 60% chance. Clearing on Friday, 45. Saturday is cold, but sunny. So 37 for a high and 21 for a low. Sunday, 20% chance of now we're just talking about a shower. And next week, look at that mild weather, 57, 61, and 64 for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, with only a slight shower chance on Wednesday.
Black History Month is a time to celebrate and recognize the achievements and central role Black Americans played and continue to play in U.S. history. The month began as Negro History Week in 1926, as Carter G. Woodson and other prominent historians were dedicated to researching and highlighting the achievements of Black Americans and those of African descent. In the 1960s, due to the Civil Rights Movement, the week evolved into what we know today as Black History Month across many college campuses. Since 1976, every U.S. president has recognized February as the official month for Black History Month. The city of Greensboro holds rich Black history, and today is the 63rd anniversary of the Greensboro Four. The four men were Black North Carolina A&T students in the 1960s when they staged the first sit-in at the Woolworth's lunch counter in downtown Greensboro. Police were unable to take action because of the lack of reaction from the young men. The four stayed until the close of business and returned the next day with more students. The four are honored today for changing the trajectory of history not only in Greensboro, but in the United States. With today being the first day of Black History Month, I asked you on Facebook, what does Black History Month mean to you? Lamont J says, reconnection and reflection. I was telling my sons this morning how elementary school Black history display boards in the 80s were so amazing. I enjoyed the month of emphasis of the achievements of people who looked like me. That meant the world to me. Renee Royser wrote, a proud, rich history, being able to share the real truth with my grandchildren and show them the family history. We are kings and queens every day and not just for the month. Jesse Johnson wrote, celebrating a culture that is underappreciated. And then Amy Adams says, a way to continue to learn more of the history of this country, all of it, the good, bad, and ugly. Some great points made there. So I celebrate Black history all throughout the year, 365. But during this month, I think it's a great time to really reflect on where we've been, where we are, and where we're headed. And I think Black History Month is a great time to just really acknowledge and show appreciation for the contributions Blacks have made in this country, because essentially, this country was built on the backs of slaves. So I always tell people during this time and throughout the year, it's always good to pick up a book or maybe watch a documentary about Black history and culture, because there's only but so much you're going to learn in the classroom. And I think having that knowledge is powerful because it will allow you to understand why certain things are the way they are in this country, certain systems that are in place, and be able to understand different mindsets as well. And I think having that knowledge will also help us to find solutions to some of the issues that we face in this country as far as inequities and things of that nature. The
responsibility also for parents is to make sure their children understand this, because a lot of history gets forgotten in a way, because as they go on, the history books change. And so my little girl has to do a report on a famous for Black History Month. And so my wife and I were listing people, and she said, I don't want to do Harriet Tubman, I don't want to do Rosa Parks. She said, I want to do somebody I've never heard of.
Absolutely.
And I thought that was a great answer for a fourth grader to say, you know.
Because there's such a rich history, and I can honestly say it wasn't until I went to college and started taking Black Studies classes that I learned. I mean, there's books and books and so many people other than the, you know, Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, the ones that we tend to hear about in the classroom.
For me, I am just so grateful that my life journey brought me to Greensboro, because growing up in a very small town in Wisconsin, there were no Black people, zero. And so in history class, we didn't really learn a lot about Black history, and I didn't get to encounter black people growing up, which was, I mean, it's unfortunate that that happened. So I'm so glad that I was able to come here and have done stories over the years about the sit-in movements and just so many of the big things that occurred in Greensboro with regards to the black community, but also the whole community.
Yeah.
If I didn't come here, I'm not sure I would ever have learned that.
It's beautiful because it really changes your perception and probably give you a better understanding of things you probably didn't think about before.
That's absolutely very true. All right,
History and knowledge is power, folks.
That's right. We'll be right
back.
back.
Pick up a book.
Damar Hamlin knows better than most that CPR can be the difference between life and death. The Buffalo Bills player is now teaming up with the American Heart Association to try to save more lives.
As you know, CPR saved my life earlier this year on the field.
The entire country watched as crews resuscitated Damar Hamlin after his sudden cardiac arrest.
And CPR could easily save your life or someone you love.
That's why number 3 says he's partnering with the American Heart Association, kicking off the Damar Hamlin 3 for Heart Challenge.
And put your other hand on top of the first. Then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives.
1. Watch this short video to learn hands-only CPR. 2. Donate to the AHA to fund CPR awareness and education. And 3. Challenge 3 friends to do the same.
Knowing CPR is an important life skill, and it's foundational to our mission to make sure that everybody can join us in being part of the nation of lifesavers.
More than 350,000 cardiac arrests occur outside the hospital each year. Fewer than 10% survive.
If you have not taken a detailed CPR course, which of course we encourage, you can learn hands-only CPR, which really is focused on pressing hard and fast on the chest to the tune of any song that's 110 beats per minute. We always say to this tune of this Bee Gees song, Staying Alive.
Have your hearts up.
Hamlin's paying it forward, doing what he can to make a difference. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Hamlin challenged LeBron James, Tom Brady, and former First Lady Michelle Obama to help kick off the campaign. And talk about some heavy hitters to include in your fold here to try to make a difference.
Like I was saying earlier, it's just beautiful to see his recovery and just see what he's doing. This is a story. He's definitely going to change a lot of lives with it. And this is an important topic to get out there to different people.
Well, he's not letting it go away. You know,
Yeah.
in a lot of cases, I think some athletes would be like, thanks to this staff for doing that, I got to focus on my health and get back in the game. I mean, he's embracing this and taking it out to the public. And I mean, even here at WFMY News 2, now we're going to have some CPR classes. And
Have you all ever been certified?
I have not.
Before? I was several years ago, maybe like 8, 9 years ago, but I almost think it should be mandatory in school. You know how you take a health, you take health and physical fitness?
Sure.
They should make it a part of the curriculum to take the exam to pass.
I think that's true.
And
That's a
I
good
wouldn't
idea.
think it would be hard. You wouldn't
no.
even have to do an exam. You could
It's
just
very
spend
quick.
one day, 1 hour
Yep.
teaching kids how to do it.
When I got certified several years ago, it was, you know, we read a book and then we had a demonstration and then you did it yourself, and that was basically how you got certified.
I would think it's probably the easiest thing that is truly a life-saving thing that you can learn. You know what I mean? It's probably the only thing that you can learn that is that simple and you can really save a life.
Almost to the point where we should normalize it to learn it at home too, in the household, because you might need it then too. So, you know, he's using his story in a beautiful way to get the word out there.
Hey, state lawmakers, if you're watching, what about this for a bill? Maybe write this
Yeah,
into state law. How
absolutely.
about that?
That'd be great.
We'll be right back. We're not going to be right back just yet. I have one more thing to read here. Doctors say every second counts when someone goes into cardiac arrest. You can learn how to save a life with a CPR tutorial that we've made. Just search CPR on our website.
You can feel that cooler air starting to move in. Our high temperatures are going to start dropping. Now we do make a change for the better next week, but we got to go through some mess to get there, don't we? Mostly cloudy skies tonight, isolated shower, that 36-degree overnight low. Tomorrow, a chilly rain. We look for highs only at 42. So if you look at the difference in I mean, it's only 6 degrees between where we'll start the morning tomorrow and end the day. So kind of what you see is what you get all day long. Chance of a shower. It's more likely in the southern half of the viewing area. So really, if you use kind of Interstate 40 as a dividing line east to west, which it kind of is, to the south of that, better chance of rain than points to the north, and we'll keep you posted. A couple of showers in the western Piedmont, or at least the western parts of our state. Hickory's getting a little bit of rain, Wilkes County a little bit too. A lot of that's really, really light, but the majority of this is back out to the west, and we'll get here. High resolution futurecast, you can see this is tomorrow or overnight tonight. Again, southern Piedmont with a greater chance than the northern Piedmont. Best chance for all of us to see something would be tomorrow morning, probably on your drive into work. And then as we go into Thursday afternoon, yep, again, this is kind of a Lexington, Asheboro, and points to the south situation. It's not until Friday that we see things clear out, and that'll start on Friday morning, we think, is when we see that go away. So again, that low tonight at 36 degrees, and winds are out of the east, 5 to 10 miles per hour. 45 and clearing on your Friday after rain, a southern rain we could say, for your Thursday. Saturday's cold, folks. Some of you may see upper teens in our northern counties, but 21 for the low Saturday morning with a high of 37 and some sun. Sunday, a 20% chance of a light shower, but a high of 45. Next week, look at that warm up. Variably cloudy Monday and 57, sunny Tuesday at 61. That's 10 degrees above normal. And if you head into Wednesday, even though we have a front moving by with a 30% chance of a shower, that is 13 degrees above normal with a high temperature at 64 degrees by the middle of next week. You know, it's the middle of the work week and we all need something fun just to get us through to Friday Junior, otherwise known as Thursday. Never fear, useless trivia is here. Today there was absolutely no theme. It is as random as it gets. Take a look. All right, we're all over the place, right? So let's start with tigers. Everybody knows that tigers are striped, right? Their fur is striped. But did you know that their skin is also striped? I want to know who had the guts to figure that one out. So how about this? Altitude affects your taste bud performances. So believe it or not, you lose a large percentage of your taste buds when you're in an airplane. Maybe that's why we crave those salty snacks. Wait a minute, I want those Biscoff cookies right now. Let's talk about sea lions. Not only are they adorable, oh, hello, buddy, so cute, but they're also musical. They're the only known animal that can clap to a beat. How about this one? We all know this, right? That famous Hollywood sign on the hills out in LA. Well, did you know that before 1949, it did not say Hollywood? It said Hollywood Land, and a lot of people didn't like it. They said it was too big, it was an eyesore, it's ugly. Also, Hollywood Land was a specific area, a specific district, so they decided to reduce it to Hollywood so it wasn't such an eyesore and it represented the entire area of Hollywood, and that's why it says what it says today. This is really unnerving up here. Hey, if you're like I am and you were a big fan of the movie E.T., and who wasn't, get this. The Foley artists, the people that do sound for movies, when they needed a sound for him walking and he kind of waddled, you remember that? They did it by someone squishing their hands in a bowl full of jelly. So this is kind of crazy. You know, the United States, we have 4 time zones, right? We have more than double the amount of people that Russia has, but Russia's so huge land-wise, they have 11 time zones. There's your water cooler fodder for the day.
Wow, 11 time zones.
11 time zones, and we have 4. So Manning, who did this with me, our photographer, editor, movie critic, jack of all trades, when we were looking at the map, I don't think I really ever understood the immensity of Russia. But a lot of that's uninhabited, like Siberia, you know, that whole area. But still, that was pretty amazing. And the Hollywood Land thing, I'd never heard that, but pre-1949, it said Hollywood Land, not Hollywood.
I hadn't heard of that either. I did hear of the altitude, like your taste buds taste differently. There was a verify on that one, but I hadn't heard of the other ones that you mentioned.
And you know, if you ever get Erica and the Chiltones back together, you should get, what is that? Was that a walrus or a
sea lion?
Oh, and get them in the background going.
Just being like a backup play.
And it makes sense because you know when you go to SeaWorld in different water parks, the sea lions are clapping.
Have you ever been to San Francisco in that part of the world where the pier, whatever it is?
I have been there.
They're the loudest things, aren't they?
And there's a ton of them.
They start yelling, and it's not like a seal. It's not that cute little, it's like this. Giant.
Yes,
Crazy. Anyway,
good stuff there.
Useless trivia day.
You're just making me smarter by the minute.
We're trying. We'll be right back.
Quarterback? No, he's like does everything but B-Rad, Mike check Brad. I'm over here yapping my mouth, talking to Larry, talking about this 5-star recruit South Carolina's got, and they're still gonna go 7 and whatever. All right, cool. It's like it doesn't matter. Y'all gonna be 5 and 7. Okay, we'll take 6 and 6. That's fine.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 4 to 5. Eric, Chad, and Lauren. Jalen's right over there getting ready to talk to you about some cool things.
Hey, everybody. I have a question for you.
Oh,
Yes.
When is the rain going to go away?
It's going to take till Friday for this to break. Yep. But it really is, it's worse in the southern Piedmont than it is in the northern. So, you know, all the counties that border Virginia, not quite as much rain over the next day. But if you're in Lexington, Davidson, and maybe down toward Montgomery County, they'll see a decent amount of rain.
Feels like we're living in Seattle.
I know, really.
All right, we're going to get an update on all of that coming up in just a minute. But first, you got to like this story. In Guilford County, the Emergency Management Service is working to improve response time and better assess which teams are best for medical emergencies. Their solution lies in their new impact units. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey found out more about them.
Cutting down response times and eliminating wasted man hours, all while saving lives. That is the goal of Guilford County's newest impact units. These smaller two-person team units are here to relieve some of the non-life-threatening calls that Guilford County receives on a daily, freeing up ambulances for the higher priority calls.
So the impact unit is unique in the sense that we are taking two EMT basics and putting them together on a quick response vehicle. The great part about a unit like this is it both saves some money because it's a less expensive vehicle to operate, it's a less expensive vehicle to staff, but also it helps meet that need that was not otherwise being met quite as quickly, and we're able to blend both the cost saving measure and also a higher level of service that was not previously being met.
This program began in September of 2022. Right now, there are 38 different types of calls that you could see one of these units on scene for. According to Guilford County EMS, these impact units cut down response time dramatically.
So we've taken about 8 to 10% of our call volume off the system, off of our ambulances, by sending the right resource to the right patient at the right time. And so that's really allowed us to be available for other calls. So we're able to send that non-emergent unit immediately instead of them waiting 20 or 30 minutes for that other ambulance to be available because they are tied up on the emergency calls.
Guilford County EMS has spent close to 2 years studying 275,000 different calls to make sure they are sending the right unit to the right scene to assist you the best they can.
I think this is great. Anytime you can cut down on that response time is a great thing, because you've heard situations where it's like it took 10 minutes for these folks to get here. So I think that this is definitely an improvement.
And I mean, think about the wide variety, a wide array of things when you need, and like if you're in an emergent situation. And I mean, you know, just hearing about the idea that fire trucks have to go on like someone where there's a heart problem. I mean, it's crazy that they're using so many resources for something that probably doesn't need a fire truck.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
And just to think that, you know, not only are we taking advantage of being smarter and more efficient with our time and money, but also just being able to serve the community at a more advanced pace and just a more rapid pace, and everyone is able to get served instead of allocating so many resources to one incident.
All right, great job, Jalen. All right, let's get your 4 to 5 roundup. Now, first up today, some good news for theater lovers in Greensboro. The Carolina Theater is getting a major makeover, a $600,000 historic restoration. The theater's capital campaign is helping to raise the money for the restoration. This project will revamp the theater's 96-year-old facade.
Today, the Marion P. Brenner Children's Museum officially opened again. The museum closed for a month due to major construction. It received updates to the facility, including a brand new exhibit. The museum now has new flooring, PA system, security system, and a new construction zone exhibit, among other updates. Need summer plans for the kiddos? Well, the Greensboro Parks and Recreation Department is now accepting registration for their 7-week summer program. Camp Joy is an inclusive summer day camp experience for individuals who are 5 years old or older of all abilities. The cost is $65 per week from June to August, with the week of July 10th through the 14th specifically designed for people with physical disabilities.
So temperatures feeling a little bit on the chilly side. Right now we're in the 40s. I mean, it's not cold, but it is chilly. We could go with that. 40 in Greensboro, 42 High Point, Winston-Salem, Asheboro, and Lexington. Burlington, 41 degrees. Mount Airy there, my hometown, 45. We have 43 in Wilkesboro. It looks like that overnight lows for the most part as we head into the night, it gets a little cool, right? So mid to upper 30s depending on where you are. We got 35 in Martinsville, 37 in Greensboro, 38 in Yadkinville. Cloud cover across the area pretty strong right now, and we see the rain just starting to creep in back to the west. So Catawba County and Hickory getting a little bit of rain. That is also starting to move into Wilkes County as well. The majority of this remains back to the west. Don't worry when you look and you see this pink, which means a wintry mix, and the white and blue, which means snow. That is not heading our way. This will be rain for us just because of our temperature profile and the way things are stacking up in the atmosphere. Low pressure after low pressure, right? They just keep riding along. There it goes, moving on to the east. Thursday, there you see the rain streaming over that. Here's yet another system to our south, but it looks like by Friday, this cold front will just sweep all of this away and clear us out quite nicely. It actually ends up being pretty decent. Again, you can see the majority of the rain is in the southern parts of the Piedmont, from really Forsyth and Guilford counties south, with a better chance of rain than pretty much anybody else. That is Thursday afternoon, and then by Friday you see that clearing starting to happen. There it goes right there. So ends up being a pretty good first half of the weekend, we could say. Look at the 7-day for you. We've got 42 tomorrow with that rain chance, 60%. It is Groundhog's Day tomorrow. 45 on Friday with clearing. A cold Saturday starting out in the low 20s, 21 for the morning temperature, 37 the high. A little 20% chance of a light shower Sunday. Right now we're just calling for rain. 45, and then next week warmer, 57 Monday, variably cloudy, sunny Tuesday, 61. And by the time we get to Wednesday, or this time next week, there's a 30% chance of a shower. Lows only 45 degrees, and that is a high temperature that's 13 degrees above our normal as we hit 64 next Wednesday.
In your entertainment headlines today, Beyonce is taking her Renaissance global. The superstar announced today she is taking a world tour, and it will start in Sweden in May. One of her stops is at the Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte on August 9th. The highly anticipated tour comes days before the Grammy Awards on Sunday, where Beyonce is the most nominated artist and could make Recording Academy history. Ticketmaster said in a release that sales will begin February 6th, and fans will need to register through their verified fan system. Sale times will vary based on the city. I think this is great news. Love me some Beyonce, and I've never seen her perform live.
That was what I was going to ask you, because I thought for sure you would have seen her.
No, I've never seen her perform live, so the fact that she's going to be an hour and 20 minutes away, I got to make sure that I'm there.
Got to go.
And it's at Bank of America Stadium, so I mean, it's not like some indoor arena. I mean, this is outside, and who knows how big the audience will be. I mean, and how massive the stage will be, and will it be in the middle, and will there be all these crazy things that she can do?
Love it when they have the a catwalk that goes out into the crowd.
Oh yes,
That's
and then you're like, oh, I was only a couple feet away from her. I think it's going to be great. I think a lot of people are going to have their mouses ready on the computer to click for those tickets. So I'm just hoping there has been something done since the whole Taylor Swift fiasco, because that was a mess. And I can only imagine more people are going to want these Beyonce tickets.
This is going to be crazy. First of all, can I just say that she doesn't age?
She does not. She's fine. She ages like fine wine.
Yeah, the promo image for her album, the cover of it, where they released that today, she looks the same she did 15 years ago. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
And Jay-Z's like, yep, I know.
He said, that's my woman.
That's right.
I know.
My wife.
He said, that's right.
Right. Okay, well, there is a big push right now for March Madness, and big plans in the works for this year's wonderful tournament. You'll remember Greensboro is hosting games in the first and second rounds of the men's NCAA tournament. Today we got some exciting news about the tournament town block party downtown. There will be a free concert on Saturday, March 18th by multi-platinum recording artist and country musician Michael Ray. The concert will be in Hamburger Square at the intersection of Elm and McGee. The concert starts at 6 p.m. with special guest Dylan Marlowe. There will be basketball games at the Coliseum Friday and Sunday. I'm so excited for Greensboro for that weekend, because if you remember in 2020, we were supposed to host the second and third round games of the NCAA tournament, and then COVID happened and it was canceled and we didn't get our time to shine. And so this is a little bit of redemption for that.
Well, and for basketball fans, depending on how, obviously we're halfway through the ACC season, so there's a lot still to come, but there is a chance that we could get a Carolina or a Virginia or maybe even a Duke, depending on how they finish out. in this region to start out here, which would be massive for the Coliseum and ticket sales.
A lot of people are going to want to come to the area. The great thing about this event, it's free. It's free, so why not go? Why not be a part of that?
Oh wait, let me throw in NC State before my director has a fit.
Oh, is he yelling in your ear right now?
No, but I was waiting for it. I was waiting. No, but they are doing incredibly well, so there is that possibility.
Hey, even the Demon Deacons are.
Yes.
I mean, they were doing well. They're not doing as well as they were, but yeah, it would be so cool if there was a local team here. I mean, I love that time of year.
Well, aren't I correct in saying the men's ACC basketball tournament's here this year?
I think so.
Yes.
I think it is.
Yeah,
so
it
now
is.
you've got that 1 week, and then the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament right after that. This is big.
It's going to be a big party.
Tournament town lives.
That's right. Love that.
Sorry, we're coming back.
Cash or card? Seems there are fewer places taking cash these days. Some state lawmakers have introduced a bill that would require retail businesses to accept cash payments. It's known as the Cash Commitment Act. The move comes as more businesses are doing away with cash and only accepting cards or mobile payments. It would also make it illegal to charge cash-paying customers a higher price than those using cards. Some say the bill is a long shot to pass. I mean, good idea. I mean, think about all the people, I imagine, the older generations that just, rely on cash because that's what they've always done.
I think it's a great idea because how many times have you gone to the grocery store or to a fast food place and they say, our register is broken, we're only taking cash. I think cash should always be an option. I'm not someone that carries a lot of cash, but I think it should always be a possibility because you might have those technical glitches.
There are times, in fact, some people had said on my Facebook page, which we'll get to this in a minute, but some of them had saying, well, I always keep $100 with me, just in case, like $20 bills. One part of that law that I read about said that they will, however, allow businesses to say, we don't accept $100 bills.
I've seen that.
So we don't. So they don't have to make the change all the time and keep all that cash around.
I've seen that at a lot of places. Like they'll have on an index card, we don't take more than $100. Yeah, I've definitely seen that.
One thing that annoys me, and it's actually the opposite, is when you go to a gas station and they charge you a different price if you're using a credit card.
Yes.
A higher price if you're using a credit card. I mean, I understand that there's a transaction fee, but that's the cost of doing business.
That's what I think.
I feel like it should be illegal that you're charging me a different price because of the way that I'm paying.
Absolutely, and I don't always want to get out of the car and go into the
mostly
gas
don't
station. Me neither. Yeah. When it says cash only, I just drive around and find another
That's
one.
Right. I do too. All right, so I wanted to see what you thought about this on Facebook, cash or card, and how you discern between the two and what you like to use. And here's what you had to say. Phil has said, cash, that way I know what I can spend. If I use my card, I would stay broke.
Wait.
Kathy said definitely credit card, so there's protection of theft. That is true, and that's, by the way, a credit card, not a debit card. Betty says a mixture, cash for gas or restaurants and cards for other things. Interesting. Morgan said credit card. I keep some cash for when needed, easy tip, parking, cash only situations. And then Teresa Galloway says use cards because cash flies out the window, and I don't even remember where it went.
That is have money to blow if it could just fly out the window.
And
like
there's no
that.
proof of it, right? There's no record of where it went.
Yeah.
I am all about cards, and I do what you just mentioned. I keep a $20 bill in my wallet at all times for whatever pops up. Well, I took an extra 40 out last weekend when I was on vacation, so now I have $60 in my wallet, and it's burning a hole in that wallet.
Yeah.
Don't you want? Are you like me? If I see the cash in there, I want to spend it.
Yep.
If I see the bills in my wallet,
I kind of forget that it's there because I don't take out that much. I usually keep about $20 because you might go to a gate somewhere and need to pay some money to get in. But I like to do the cards because I can keep a record of what I've spent, and it's just easier now with all the money sharing apps. People can just transfer it to you. With cash, I feel like it gets a little confusing.
Did I tell you what happened to me the other day with so I left my wallet at home by mistake, and I had 4 miles left on my car before I ran out of gas. And when I was leaving work, I forgot that I left my wallet at home that day, and I pulled into a gas station right down the street here on Summit Avenue. And I had no wallet.
Oh no.
And I had to call my wife, and I'm like, I think you may have to come here. And then she goes, well, do you have like a Google Pay or an Apple Pay? I said, yeah, I think I do, but I've never used it. And that's what I had to do, was just go in there and use, the thing to just register it without a wallet.
I think you'd be surprised at how many places can accept Google Pay or
I did on my phone.
Pay.
Yeah.
And one of my friends recently lost her wallet, and so for an entire day out, she was forced to use Apple Pay, and it worked everywhere.
Yeah.
It's really anywhere that has the little, like the symbol, the rainbow.
Yeah, some vending machines even have the Apple Pay.
Oh, she saved me because I forgot I had that. We'll be right back.
Glad you made it.
Getting a little bit chilly tonight. Not as chilly as what we'll see Saturday morning. We'll talk about that in a minute. But this is pretty cool here. 35 degrees in Reidsville. These are projected overnight lows with one forecast model. We're actually calling for around 36, but 37 in Greensboro. High Point, same reading. We go 38 in Yadkinville. No matter how you slice it, mostly in the mid to upper 30s. And yeah, it's going to be chilly out there. Cloud cover pretty much all over the place right now, and we're starting to see a few showers start to creep in from the west. More awaits us. Don't worry about all this frozen precipitation you see here. That will be north, and actually we're just left with rain, with several low pressure systems that will be working their way by. Here's one, and we'll watch this as we go from tonight. This starts at about 7 o'clock, and you can just see the rain just streams in, right? These just move by, one right after the other. In between the two, here's another one on Thursday, but by Friday, this second front comes down. Much cooler air. That Friday night overnight low projected at 21 degrees. Now that's an average for the triad. That's not for our northern counties, where we'll probably see some teens for overnight lows, and definitely into the mountains. It'll be even cooler then. I'll step out of the way so you can see this, but high resolution futurecast. This is more of a southern viewing area, rain event, if you want to call it that. More of the rain looks like will be in the southern Piedmont than anywhere else. That's tomorrow morning for you there. That's probably the best chance of everybody seeing a little something. And then that's Thursday afternoon at about this time, actually. Most of this, again, stays to the south. And then Friday, finally, we see that clearing coming in. So 7-day forecast for you goes like this. With that rain on Thursday, it's a 60% chance for Groundhog Day. 42 the high tomorrow, 45 and clearing on Friday. Be a beautiful day. A little breezy maybe behind that front. Then a cold Saturday, 21 and 37 for a morning low and an afternoon high. 20% chance of just rain Sunday, 45. And next week, warming trend, 57, 61 and 64 for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Today is the official National Girls and Women in Sports Day. This day is observed to break the gender stereotypes built around the sports industry. It is a time to celebrate female athletes around the world. And here at home in the Triad, NCA&T Aggies made sure to shout out their women's basketball team on Facebook, reminding everyone who is in first place. These ladies are #1 in the Colonial Athletic Association Conference this season. They won their last game against College of Charleston this past Sunday, 76-71. Their next game is at Elon University Friday night at 7 p.m.
NC State student Caitlin Toohey adds NCAA record holder to her extensive track record. On Saturday, she broke the indoor record mile time by a whole second with a time of 4 minutes 24 seconds. The previous record by Jenny Simpson had been intact since 2009. In just 2 seasons, Toohey has 2 NCAA titles and is a 6-time All-American. And the Winston-Salem Dash gave a shout out to ladies involved with the team. They posted on Facebook a picture of their MVPs, saying they're grateful and proud to have these women on their team.
Did you just say a 4-minute mile time?
4 minute 24 second mile.
So that means she's sprinting each lap.
The whole
It's
way.
taking a minute because it's 4 laps to equal a mile.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a minute and what, 6 seconds? She's running around a high school track, if you want to think about it that way.
It takes me about 12 minutes to run a mile, so she would have ran like 2 miles by the time I finished.
I mean, it would have taken me that long to tie up my shoes and
Right.
just get in position.
We were talking. I was talking about this with my producer Fran, and I said it takes me 4 minutes just to go to the fridge, get something to eat. You know, and
And she's already
got a mile going.
That is impressive.
Oh, jeez.
That's incredible.
And by a whole second.
What's your favorite? If you had to pick a favorite female athlete, because I have 2 that I can think of.
I guess I would say Serena Williams.
Okay.
I really like what she stands for and how she's been able to pivot in different markets like fashion and television, and just the hard work her and her sister
That's funny because
have
mine
shown.
was Venus.
Oh, Venus?
Yep, I've always just liked her. And when I saw her speak at the Bryan Series this year, and her just her business savvy on top of how athletic she is just incredible to me.
Gosh, if I had to pick one, I really like, and forget about the things that have happened to her in the last few years, but Hope Solo, the soccer player.
Yeah.
I mean, just an incredible inspiration
Talented.
for young girls and young women. So, we'll be right back.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kayana, meet me in the parking lot. A.
Hi there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
When the makeover will be complete. Hi there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's time for my 2 cents. This past November, I had the opportunity to report live at the kickoff of Winterfest at LeBauer Park. I had an amazing time gliding and spinning on the ice. Though I was able to keep my balance for the most part, I did have a couple of stumbles, all off camera, of course. Just like in skating, we all will eventually take a fall in life, but it's how we get up that matters. February 1st has been dubbed National Get Up Day. U.S. Figure Skating created this motivational campaign in 2016. It's a day to celebrate our own get-up moments and inspire others to do the same. I can think of many moments when things didn't go the way I planned for them to go. Growing up, I participated in several public speaking and oratorical competitions. My sophomore year of high school, I was in one contest where I just knew I was going to take home the gold. But to my surprise, I didn't even make it to the final round. I cried like a baby. I just didn't understand. But it took that situation for me to realize you won't always win everything in life. Just because I didn't place doesn't mean my speech was bad or that I'm not good at public speaking. It just means I didn't resonate with the judges that day. If I believe in the words that I speak and that I at least touched one person, then I have accomplished what I set out to do. I encourage you to use your story of a setback to inspire others to get up again, because a setback is just a setup for a comeback. That's my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
Mourning the loss of a 14-year-old killed during a rodeo in Stokes County. Friends are remembering Denham Bradshaw as a loving kid who was full of laughs.
A winter storm bringing major problems.